Hey there, it's Katrina Sawa here, the Jumpstart Your Biz Coach with jumpstartyourmarketing.com and loveyourselfsuccessful.com, my book. And if you're watching these videos, then you know they are content-rich, packed business development tips every week in your inbox, but also on YouTube and on social media. So make sure you're checking back on YouTube and you subscribe to my channel at Katrina Sawa, and our cat marketing expert, I think it's under, and or get on my email newsletter and make sure that you're seeing these videos, but also all the other stuff that I'm sharing tips wise in emails. So today we're doing a series, we're continuing a series on how to really get an action plan together for your business. And it could be done any time of the year, obviously, but we're in December. And so everybody's, frantically planning to try to launch for next year in the next couple weeks. And what I wanted to share today was we've already talked about what you're selling and a little bit about how to get the leads coming in the door or to the phone. But what I want to talk today about is how to then plot out your year a little bit with live events and where you're going to be networking. And a lot of you might be thinking, well, I don't want to network. I just want to do online marketing and I want to drive people to my website and make money that way. Well, unless you have a pretty big list already on your email, or and you have some people that can promote your business or promote your website, or you have a lot of time to be online promoting stuff on a consistent, regular basis in various different ways, the fastest path to cash is usually networking in person. And I still do it to this day. It's the number one strategy I use besides speaking. So speaking in person, there's speaking virtually too, and then networking in person is the best way to get targeted leads because they meet you and they like, trust, and connect with you faster. So a couple things I tell clients and I do myself when I'm plotting out my year, right? I usually have a big annual calendar. I want to plot out the big conferences that, number one, I want to speak at, and I want to, now's the time, if you haven't already done so, applied to speak at conferences for the next year. And you have to submit sometimes months in advance for bigger conferences. For smaller events, sometimes even the monthly events that are within an organization that you might belong to. I belong to a lot of women's organizations and like eWomen Network and a few other ones. And eWomen Network events are already pretty much booked out for 2016 for next year. So you got to get to those directors sometimes a year in advance, if not further out, in order to get yourself as a speaker in one of their events. Some of the other local events that you might find in your area, maybe not, they're not that booked out, so you can find things a little bit quicker and easier and more common to just, in the next couple months or something like that. But speaking is something you don't want to wait around to do. So plot out your speaking gigs first, the ones you already know you have. Plot out your own events if you're going to have your own events. I have 4 events coming up in 2016 in February, April, July, and November. And you can find out all about that at livebigevents.com, livebigevents.com. But then what conferences do you know you should be at? Because that's where your prospects are, whether you're a speaker or not. You might want to look at being on an exhibitor or a sponsor if you can't be a speaker. Otherwise, just go as an attendee, but be prepared, right? And so I really show people how to be prepared and to work a room and work a conference and work an event, no matter if it's 2 hours or 3 days. There's ways that you can actually get paying clients on the spot if you are prepared. So live events is huge, so plot those big ones. I do recommend you go to a bigger conference every single quarter, if not more, okay? Number one, it provides you leads, but it also keeps you in that energy and that top, that with a high level of entrepreneurs usually, if you're hanging out with entrepreneurs. And it's just something really good to do. So then you want to fill in the monthly calendar, right, with your monthly events. And some of you heard my story. When I started my business, I went to 14 networking events a month minimum, and I was in 4 chambers of commerce, a leads group, and eWomen Network. And I don't belong to the chambers anymore. I belong to different national organizations and international organizations instead, and I travel all over the country now. But if you're just starting or you're local focused, then you can join chambers, you can join Rotary, you can join meetup get groups. There's so many different opportunities. Unless you're in a really like in the sticks, you're in the country and you're rural, then you're going to have to do maybe more online or travel. But start your own group. I have a client in Canada who's a small town in Canada, and she just started her own meetup because there wasn't anything in her town and people were hungry for it. So she started one, right? So don't let that stop you, because live experiences with you live is really the best way to get people to like, trust, and connect with you faster. So hopefully that's helpful. Plot your events now. Don't wait. Don't wait till the month and the first of the month and go, oh, what am I going to do this month? No, your month should already be planned with lots of events before you even get into that month. It should be done for the rest of the year. Get Google Calendar, schedule it out. And if you can't make one here and there, it's fine, but get them on the calendar so you don't book other things around those networking events that might only be once a month, because that's your marketing time, marketing dollars not being spent when you go to a networking event. Granted, there's, a little bit of cost, but not as much as if you were going to spend money on advertising or marketing or Facebook ads or something, right? So do this first. That's my recommendation. I have a networking toolkit, actually. It talks about doing trade shows and exhibitor booths, but also how to work a room and how to be a speaker and get leads out of a live event. It is a product of mine. It's only $57. You can find it at katrinasawa.com/products. And it's called my Trade Show Networking Toolkit. I guarantee it's gonna blow your mind with all the stuff that's in there, order forms and samples of all kinds of different flyers and things that you can use. And it might be helpful for you. So I'll talk to you next week. Have a great day, everyone, and happy holidays.